What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Here we are, Night Watch Zone kills with me tonight. And bro, we're ready to rock. We got a lot of stuff to cover. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to be talking about some Scream 8 news of sorts. We're going to be talking about some theories that we're actually going to be checking with the live chat here tonight, seeing what they think of those theories, which one they like the best, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about Obsession, of course, the breakout mega hit from Kerry Barker, and also Backrooms from Kane Parsons. A lot of big news to cover with that, including its ginormous box office. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. For you guys in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. It really helps us out. We got Paula in the house. What's up, Paula? Good to
Hey.
see you. Hope you're doing well. Val is in the chat. What is up, Val? Good to have you here. We got Hollywood Guy. What's up, man? All right. Rocking and rolling. Erica's in the house. What's up, Erica? Erica's gonna be ready to bite some fingers if they don't hit that like button. I know it. We got we got Kelly. What's up? Kelly saying hello, folks. I'm on time. Can you believe it? I can believe it. I believe in the power. Very cool to have you here, Kelly. Gene's in the house. What's up, Gene? Gene, you see, that's what I'm talking about. Gene, you're all right. Gene was with us earlier, dropped the video on the best remakes of all time. If you guys have not checked that out, please check it out. It really helps us out a lot when we have uploaded videos and you guys check it out. So Gene, thank you so much for hanging out with us earlier. We appreciate that, and all you guys that were able to. All right, and Mary, what's up, Mary? Good to see you. Saying, hey, everyone, my father is healing from his accident. Mary, that's great news. Thank goodness. Seriously. I'm so glad to hear that and appreciate you, sharing that with me. You shared that with me in the comments and obviously here as well with the rest of us, this family. And thank goodness. And that's great news. Awesome news. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
RJ, what's up? What's up? I'm so excited for Scream 8. I know you are. That's why we're talking about it tonight, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's see. Who else? Jason is in the house. What's up, Jason? Good to see you, man. Hope you've been doing well. Good to have you here. Seriously, it's awesome stuff. And Kelly also has a channel member anniversary. 12 months. We hit a year. Awesome stuff. 1 year, baby. Here's to many more. Love being part of this community. Thanks for having me. Well, thank you so much for just being here, being positive and supporting us. And, we can't thank you enough. You're so appreciative. Seriously. All right. That's great news. Gina's in the house too. All right, Gina. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being around earlier. Oliver's in here as well. Hey, what's up, Oliver? All right, so Kill, let's start off. We're going to start off with some Scream 8 talk, and then we'll get back into Backrooms and Obsession, and we'll come back to Scream 8 because we're going to have the folks in the chat tell us what they think of some of the stuff we're about to talk about. But Kill, just to catch everyone up real quick, because we haven't talked about it in a minute, at least live. When you think about the events of 7, just overall, you don't have to get like deep diving into it or whatever, but what were your thoughts of 7 as far as being a Scream fan, a lifelong Scream fan? We've talked about this franchise so much on this channel, covered it and so forth, but as a fan, what's your take with Scream 7?
One word I can use to describe it is pivot.
Okay.
Now, two things can be true.
Yeah.
I liked it, but then again, there were parts of it that I didn't like.
Okay.
And when I say pivot, you have a story arc where you have essentially two siblings, two sisters, and we all know the reasons why the actresses weren't there. We get that. Whether you agree, disagree, we get it. That's where the pivot comes in. Like I like sports, and you might have your starting quarterback and you're ready for the the new football season. Oh man, this might be the year. This might be the year we finally win or we get to the big game. But
Yeah.
your quarterback gets injured. You got to pivot. You got to bring in that second string. Hopefully he does well. If he sucks, then you got to trade out. You got to shuffle things around.
Yeah.
And this was the shuffle things around movie. and look, and you know, we have talked about this before. So I hope none of this is too many spoilers or anything. But I'll be vague. You had returning characters from the other arc that they were building that were brought in just for shits and giggles and to be lackeys. You had returning classic characters that really only had one function. I'm gonna do an interview with you. I'm gonna do an interview and I'm gonna finally ask these things out in public. And then you had true icon characters, and okay, we're always down for some of that.
Right.
But and Knight, you know the term that I'm gonna use because we use it a lot. You gotta have a Trevelyan.
You gotta have a Trevelyan.
And what that means is you gotta have a good anti-hero character that's worthy of the hero's suffering.
Yeah.
And then this one, once again, I'm not gonna say who's Ghostface was, but for me, it was kind of like, really, that's what we're doing. That's the pivot we're doing. So in one term, I loved it because of our queen. She returned, and she's the mama bear in here. But then in other respects, you bring other classic iconic characters, and they are kind of one note, and then you bring the Scooby Gang characters, and they're there for comedy relief and just to be slashed up, because they never die. So it's they're in a weird place, and I know I feel like I'm going long-winded, but this shows how much we love this franchise. They're in a weird place, and I don't know how they right the ship.
Wow.
And once again, I'm not trying to be, the naysayer here, but
you can be the naysayer. It's okay.
Well, I hope you bring I hope you bring the sunlight, because I stay in the darkness. I was born in the darkness, babe.
You think darkness is your ally?
Yes, because you can only go to that well of let's bring back a classic character, but for so long, before it just becomes cheap. You're cheapening, legacy characters.
Of course.
And then they tried to build this new story arc with the sisters, and okay, we're gonna build from that. And like, okay, did I 100% love it? No, but at least they were doing something different. They were trying to pass the torch and trying to keep the evolution going.
Right.
But now, because of the obvious issues that we all know about and things like that, now they have to figure out, okay, do we start with other new characters? Do we build off of some of the characters, namely
the twins?
I was gonna say the daughter that was
Tatum.
With Tatum, do we try to build from her, or do we go back to the twins again? So I just don't know where they want to go with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, they pinned themselves in the corner, because now if you do anything with Tatum, you've always got to have Sidney involved, because it would make no sense whatsoever if Tatum is in a sequel and Sidney, doesn't try to help or whatever.
Tatum goes to college,
bro.
just like Scream 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, if they have distance between them, Sidney is on a trip in Europe, but I mean, that's an old Holly, that's a trope that's kind of like, kind of tired and horror. But I'm just saying, you put yourself in a corner now, and I want to say to the chat, and you guys, let us know what you think as well, and possible Screammate directions that they could take. But as much as I love Sidney Prescott, and I do, I truly do, But again, you can't have someone continually
Yes.
survive horror movies, slasher horror movies at that, right?
Mhm.
You just can't do it. This 6 films, bro, and she just
Well,
keeps on surviving, and at some point it's just not realistic.
well, and also, and please, I don't want to segue
Yeah,
and mess you up. Not just 6 films that have multiple Ghostface
right.
with
It's not just one person.
multiple human beings, men, women, moms, grandmoms, cousins,
Fathers.
fathers, cops, not cops, just all of these. And she has survived all of these people of
Yeah,
varying skill levels and
yeah.
ages.
She's a
And
ninja.
yes, and that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't
Right,
make sense.
right. Hey, look,
Continue,
I've,
please.
I've always said Michael was the horror ninja, but now that I really think about it, we might have to say it's Sidney Prescott,
I
because
think it
like
might be.
this chick, she needs to be like the head of the army, and teach the soldiers how to
Look,
survive, because it's
she
getting ludicrous.
she's the John McClane of slasher movies. How many times does the same
Yippee-ki-yay.
issue gotta happen to the same person over and over and over again?
Right? Oh my God. So yeah, I love Sydney Ninja Prescott. But at some point, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like even
Yeah.
Halloween, they knew what they had to do. Now, granted, part of that is because Jamie Lee Curtis was like, F y'all. I'm gonna
Yes.
do some other stuff in my acting career. But we did have films without Laurie Strode. And
Mhm.
some of them I really enjoyed a hell of a lot, like Halloween 4. You know what I'm saying? So
And your favorite Resurrection?
Halloween 3 Resurrection, man. Anyways, but but
I'm so sorry.
don't make me play the clip.
Oh no!
All right,
And
I'm gonna
and
play it.
technically, she was in it.
She was for 3 minutes.
Let the dangertainment begin out.
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Guys, he always has that like a holster. It's just always here, and he's like, "Bam!"
Hey, so like I was saying, man, now they've got to figure out what they're gonna do.
Mhm.
Do they start fresh? Which that would be the listen, and again, I love these past characters, but that would be the best way to go for multiple reasons, because now we don't know nothing. We don't know who could be the killer. We don't know who will survive. We don't know who's the opening scene. I mean, we can guess,
Well, let me
and
ask
of
you
course
this.
you could win at guesses, but I'm just saying it'd be fresh,
Well, let
you
me ask
know?
you this though, and I agree with you. Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's really the only place they can go. But then the name of the movie should just be Scream.
Nah. Well, yeah,
You
there's that.
just you totally just you reboot the franchise,
Yeah.
different, totally different characters. Because no matter what you do, if you try to you know do that do that arc where it's totally different people, you're gonna have someone in a ghost face mask. Somewhere along the line, us as viewers, we're gonna be like, all right,
Right.
where's Gail Hailstorm? Where's Sydney? Like why aren't they saying anything? Where are the twins?
Yeah.
No one is coming out to help this new group of kids. But if they
Right.
just said, well, look, we're totally, that arc of Scream and Sidney Prescott, we're done with that. We're
Right.
doing a fresh reboot, and we're starting fresh. But if you start fresh, you got to change Ghostface up. You
Yeah,
gotta
you do.
you
You
gotta
do.
keep the mask, but like make him or her like vicious. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
they gotta be our boy from
Art the
uh
Clown.
well, I was gonna say Rob Zombie's Halloween. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
guy that's a
Picking
mountain.
up picking up cars like Lou Ferrigno and the Hulk.
Yeah, but you got to do something totally fresh, and I feel
Yeah.
like they might have like you said, painted themselves in a corner, and like
Yeah.
we don't have any new ideas. You
Well,
know
guess what?
what you got for me?
I'm gonna remedy that tonight, because I
Okay,
have not just one theory for 8, not 2,
okay.
not 3.
Stu Macher.
No, I've got 5. I've
Wow,
got 5
you got 5 on
theories.
it.
I got I do.
If
I
you know,
got
you know.
if you know, you know. Shout out to Jordan Peele
Shout
bringing
out to
that
Jordan
back.
Peele.
But I've got 5 Scream 8 theories that I want to throw out tonight to you and of course to the chat because I do think look, to finish my thought from earlier, starting fresh would be the way to go because now we don't know anything. It's a murder mystery franchise, right? If
It is.
we have new characters, we have no idea who Ghostface is. As long as Gail, Sidney, and the twins are involved and Tatum are involved with these films going forward, we know they're not Ghostface, right? Although one of my theories can combat that, and I'll get to that in a second. So everybody just keep your hats on. But they're not gonna start from scratch, I don't believe. You know why? Because of all the friggin' money that Scream 7 made, and they're gonna just continue this thing at least for a trilogy, like a Sidney trilogy. I think they'll at least do that because this movie, Scream 7, that is, made so much money. So these theories go off of the idea that Sidney is still involved. Okay. Now, whether or not she's always at the forefront, or if they have Tatum kind of take up a little bit of the spotlight like they did with Allison in the Gordon Green Halloween trilogy, these theories will still work for that. Okay. So listen, 5 theories, Kill. I'm gonna start with the first one. Well, first of all, I got some names for them too, bro, because I got kind of special. Okay. And let me just say this. I think well, I've talked about maybe 2 of these theories before, but I'm gonna try to cement them a lot more. So I'm just putting this out there right now. These are the theories we got here on Night Watch Zone. Don't be stealing no theories. I watch YouTube. Okay, so I'm just saying. I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Okay, so
He's not.
I've got 5 theories. One of them is called the end of glory theory. Okay. A second theory is called vigilante justice. A third theory is called the cult of Ghostface, round 3.
Cult of Thorns.
See if you can figure out why it's called that. Okay. Then another theory I have is called the final girl killer.
Okay.
The final theory I have is called the traitor Ghostface. Okay. So those are the 5 theories. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the first one. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think about this because I'm really curious. And by the way, I see we got a couple super chats. We're gonna get to those in just a quick minute. We really appreciate the support as always. We want to make sure we get to the super chats, and plus, you guys might have some cool theories as well. All right, so Kill. Start with the first theory, and that's called the glory ender. Okay, so this is what I see: 3 killers. They want to end the legacy of Sidney and anyone that is connected with her. That includes Tatum, that includes Gail, that includes the twins, Billy, Bobby, Sue, and Jack. Anybody that is connected to Sidney, they want to kill them. Okay. Now, part of that is because they see all of the fame and the glory, quote unquote, the glory that has surrounded Sidney, and they want it done. Now, maybe some of that is a jealousy thing or whatever, but it's more than just Sidney. It's everybody. They want to end this whole thing, much like in the franchise. So that is the first theory, and not only that, they're disgusted by Sidney's her fame. They're not going to stop at anything to get this done. Now, this is the other part I want to throw out to you, and I want you to picture this, okay? The opening scene, okay? And it could be set up any way we want, the usual thing. Maybe someone is at a house or what have you. I would actually like it to be somewhere where there are people around, something that where it almost seems as though that couldn't happen. Okay. So we're following this person. They get a call on their cell phone. It's very reminiscent, obviously, of past Scream films. Okay. So there's a chase, and I'm thinking someplace that is like big, like, I don't know, maybe it
A
could be
movie
like,
theater.
well, I don't want to go too close to 2, but it could
An
be,
alley in New York City.
Hell, man, it could be a store, you know, it could be a store like in a
A
mall.
liquor
Maybe it
store
has no, not a liquor store. Stop, man. You just calling out these old things. But
where
listen,
Ghostface has a
so
shotgun. I'm
no,
sorry.
no. But listen, so someplace where there can actually be a little bit of a chase and some fun, right?
Okay.
And the person is stabbed, okay? And it's
Mhm.
like, oh crap, that's something. The mask comes off. We get another early reveal, and guess who it is, Kill? Guess who it is?
Stu Mocker.
No, it's
Oh,
Sidney.
what?
It's Sidney. Sidney killed someone, and maybe it's just an attack. This is just, you know, I'm just throwing all the stuff in there for
Mhm.
this full theory. You know why she did it? She's being blackmailed. She's being forced to do it.
Ooh.
That's why she's doing it. Like it's something where
Someone wants
whether
to play
it's
a game.
hey, right? Whatever. Let's say that, you know, Mark has been kidnapped or whatever. You could blackmail her 1,000 ways. But that's the opening scene of this first theory. And then for all the fans out there, for all the Stu truthers out there, there's always room to throw Matthew in this because at the end, Stu intervenes and we can set it up any way you want. It doesn't matter. This could work with or without Stu, is the reason I'm saying this part. But he intervenes at the end, and you know why? Because only he can kill Sidney, and that's what brought him back out. What do you think, man?
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like that, like I think that would be, I think that would be kind of cool, you know, and you could tie it into Seven a little bit because the killers can vibe off of the fact that, you know, Stu's house was burned down. So it's kind of like, you know, we're destroying, you know, the remnants of the past or whatever. So you could even tie it into Seven to elevate Seven a bit more. You know, you could connect it more than that if you want, but I mean, this could kind of be on its own as well. So
Mhm.
that's my first theory, man. You guys
Okay.
in the chat, let me know what you think about that. Like let's talk about this a little bit. Again, this is the Glory Ender theory developed by me. I'm going to be watching on YouTube, guys. Don't be stealing stuff. Okay, let me jump to the chat real quick. All right, we got William in the house. What's up, William? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you so much for being here. Hollywood guy came in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Hollywood guy. We appreciate you, bro. I would like to have Scream 8 as a Kirby movie with her time in the FBI, chasing Ghostface. Maybe just maybe get Tara and Sam back to join her. Kill. What do you think about doing that? I mean, you know, there had been rumblings about a Kirby movie or a Kirby series because obviously she's tied into the FBI, and that could be kind of like a fun side quill type of thing. Hayden Panettiere obviously loves the character; she loves the franchise. Would you be down if Scream 8 took that direction?
I would be down because you have technically I would say a legacy character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This would be her third entry,
Hmm.
and you know we've grown up with her. We've seen her from a a college student to now a full blown FBI agent,
Hmm.
and that is something that's unique in this dichotomy of characters. You know, she's an FBI agent. You don't become
Hmm.
FBI just by chance or luck. That's serious. You know, you have to be
Hmm.
exceedingly good at your job. And
Hmm.
for her to go that route, to go to that extreme and then use her resources to try to, catch Ghostface or catch the latest Ghostface,
Right.
that would be very interesting. I would like to see that because once again, you know what it is, and I'm sorry to go geek here. It's the Star Wars issue. And
Mm,
essentially, we've had really one Star Wars movie where it wasn't space wizards.
right.
It wasn't someone of the Skywalker lineage.
Mm,
And this, if Kirby would be the main protagonist here, I'm assuming we would be focusing on her and not necessarily Sydney or her ilk.
yeah.
And I would be down for that. I mean, what else do you got to lose, guys?
But do you think that they would do
shoot
it
your
though?
shot. No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't. But I wish that the suits, the men and women that make these decisions that probably aren't as big of a fan as you, I, or Hollywood guy, or any of us here, you know. But they want the sure bet. They want the surefire money. Like, hey, you know, Nev, are you busy? You're not busy right now. Hey, come on back, get this check.
Right.
Let's rinse and repeat. Let's throw you in another situation. And let's just keep milking this for every bit that we can. And this is the issue that you come into with great franchises. You keep going to that well. And then essentially, and we've said peaks and valleys. Scream, that franchise, for the most part, it's mainly valleys. There really aren't. I mean, it's mainly peaks. There really aren't any valleys. Valleys until bad films,
right?
Or horrible. Look,
right? Hey, it's not horrible.
It's not. Look, there's no Busta Rhymes yet or anything. All right, there's no Voorhees sword. All right.
Oh shit, man! Charlie, where the fuck you been at, man? Don't you know we've been looking all over this motherfucker for you?
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, I knew. Oh, god damn it. I knew it. But no, you know, and no disrespect to those films for people that love the Voorhees sword. You know, I know who you are. But when you have these series that are, you know, I don't want to use the word dragged out, but these series that continue, you can only put these legacy characters in these predicaments, but so many times without us wondering, how are you still alive?
Yeah.
How are you this efficient at surviving? You know, even Ellen Ripley died. All right.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sorry. Ellen Ripley died. You know, John Connor died. You know, hopefully no spoilers here. You know, I'm just saying. You know, and
right.
You know, Nev, she's a great woman, but she's not. You know, she's not an astronaut engineer fighting xenomorphs or fighting, you know, T-800 robots.
She might as well, because she'd win. All right, so look,
but they got to do something.
Right, Hollywood guy. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. We appreciate it.
That was a good one, Hollywood.
That was a good one, man. We appreciate you, bro. I mean, I don't think they'd go that way, but look, I'm always down with Kirby. She's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. Real quick, Oliver came in as well. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, $5 super chat. For the Scream franchise to keep me interested in 8 and beyond is to show that Stu is actually alive and was helping in everything since day one. Well, buddy, these theories definitely could work that way. You know, they could work, and I did this on purpose because I truly did want him to be revealed in 7. I think it made no sense to pull the carpet out from underneath of everybody at the end of that movie. They should have revealed him alive, just like they knew they wanted to, because they even shot it. They shot a version where Stu was revealed at the end to be alive, you know, and they did the test audience thing, and they weren't really down with it. And speaking of which, and I know I'm all over the place, and Oliver, thank you so much, but real quick, just to throw this out here, the way that the deleted scene was put together, and Matthew was talking about at the test screening, he doesn't think it was done the right way as far as the way that the scene was implemented into the film, because it was basically a brief, like, post-credit type of teaser. There was a person sitting in a dark hideout or room or whatever, watching the aftermath of 7 unfold on the television, you know, on a TV set or whatever. The television is turned off, and then you see the reflection in the black glass of the TV, and it reveals the face of Stu. That was, you know, what it was going to be. And I guess the test screening, like when the movie ended, and you know how you usually would get the credits, I guess in the test screening, the movie ended and then they just showed it or something like that. And he thought that it was too jarring because it just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like they didn't start to show the credits and then all of a sudden that quick stinger, like in a Marvel movie. So that sucks, because I really do think that would have made the movie better.
They should.
What do you think?
They should have just zoomed in on like his hand, like on the armrest of a chair, and then he's stroking a cat, and then he's just like, "I'll get you, Gadget. I'll get you next time, Inspector Gadget.
Oh, God.
No,
All right.
I mean that sounds cool to me.
Yeah, it does,
You know,
man. Because
and I think I said something about this when we talked about Seven, when we kind of gave a little conversation about it, where okay, if you didn't have him as a full-fledged character in this, you could have Seven kind of what it was.
Mhm.
Then in the next movie, let's follow it from Ghostface, their perspective.
The
And what I'm
POV, right?
yeah, and what I mean by that is not necessarily do a Saw franchise thing where well, this movie takes place between this movie and this one,
Yeah.
but have the next movie with Stu take place during the same time as Seven.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kind of see how he's manipulating things behind the scenes, or
Yeah.
how he's training new disciples, or this and that. And then you have that confrontation, you know, and have him kill someone important. Have
You
him
got to. Yeah,
have
someone's
him,
got to
and
die in it.
and it has to be him that does it, not a
Yeah.
disciple,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
holds more weight. Have him kill Gail. I'm sorry, love Gail, but Gail has ran her course, and we love you. You've earned time in heaven with Dewey. All right.
Jeez.
And that would hold weight. Nobody cares about nobody gives a flying you know what about the twins. I'm sorry. I could give two shits about the twins when they appeared in the latest movie. I was like, oh god,
Scooby-Doo time, baby.
these two, god damn.
Well, you know what
sliced
sucked?
up on a subway train in New York again and live?
Right? I know. The thing that sucks is I like them, you know, as
I like
characters.
them too.
I thought they were great in 6. Of course, that was, you know,
Yeah.
their movie, the core 4. But in 7, they didn't need to be
They
there.
didn't need to be
And they
there.
only had that scene where they come out of the SUV with Gail, and then of course in the bar where they're kind of yapping a little bit. It was okay, but they totally wasted the potential of these two
Yes.
characters. You know what I mean? They should have just
Definitely.
put them on the back burner,
And they
bring them
made
back in.
Gail's lackeys.
Yeah,
They
pretty
made
much.
Gail's lackeys.
Pretty
But-
much.
but
So go ahead.
have Stu kill a real character that people care about,
Yeah.
like Gail. And that's the end of the second movie in that trilogy. And then do one final movie where it's finally Sidney versus Stu, and boom, there's a trilogy right there. And
Yeah.
then at the end of that, you stop.
Mhm.
Go do a full reboot if you want, with whole new characters, and we'll act like we've never seen a Scream movie in our lives. Come up with some new kills, whatever. Maybe Ghostface now is like Jigsaw somehow. I don't know,
Mhm.
but you got to do something. And then
All right.
boom, Nev Campbell gets to chill. Stu and the pro Stu people can finally be avenged, and we all go home happy.
All right. Okay. So look, I just also wanted to say thank you to Erica as well. She's sent in a super chat and making sure people hit the like button. Thank you so much, Erica. We
Mhm.
really appreciate that. Seriously, we appreciate you. That was really, really nice. Okay, so guys, you know, let us know what you think about these theories. So that was, I mean, we kind of did 2 theories there in a way, because you had your ideas you threw in there too, which my next theory has a piece of that in there that I want to throw out. And by the way, for you guys just jumping in, welcome. Let us know what you think of these theories and throw out your own. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Duritan, thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. It's a great way to use Sidney and Stu. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way that we could do it and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know what I mean? But I'm really big on that opening scene where like Sidney literally attacks or kills. Now, maybe it's just an attack if you still want to keep her, you know, innocent per se. But I think that would be so cool. We'd never expect it, and it'd be something totally out of left field. Okay, so I want to get to my next full theory that I want to throw out there, or I should say the second theory. And this one killed. Let me pull it up for those who didn't see it earlier. This is just called vigilante justice. Okay. And the whole idea with this, we've got, in my mind, we've got 2 killers this time. Okay, we had 3 in the last theory, but we got 2 killers for this, and they decide that Sidney is the one that's making these kills happen. Wherever she moves, there's always death. Okay, and they want to stop it, not because they have a particular issue with Sidney herself, but they want to save people. Okay, that's the whole motive of this thing, is that they're actually doing all of this because they want to save people, all these victims that have been surrounded by Sidney through all these damn movies, right? That's the idea. Now, originally, I was saying that in Scream 7, that could have been part of the motive for either of the 2 or 3 killers, because I thought there was going to be either 2 or 3 killers. Didn't work out that way, but whatever. But so this vigilante justice angle, what do you think of that, Kill?
It sounds good, but so the I guess the vigilantes, they're just regular people that, and they're doing the Punisher. Hey, to stop crime, I gotta kill her.
They have no ties to any other Ghostface killer. They don't have any ties to the cult. They don't have any ties to Sidney.
To stop the Joker, I gotta kill Batman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I've talked about this theory before. I just never gave it a name. I'm being cool tonight. I'm giving names to these things. So but I think that would be a cool angle, for the Ghostface killers. So that, in other words, I guess part of this particular theory, what I'm thinking about is that finale, when we get the unmasking and they're telling us why they did it. I just think that would be a more interesting motive than we've gotten in the last couple of films. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, in this latest one, it's like, what?
You're gonna spoil it?
What, Scream 7?
Yeah.
These people have seen it.
I like how I've been tiptoeing around things, and now you're like,
hell yeah, we could talk about it. These obsessed Anna Camp and all of that, it's a connection to 4. Of course, they marketed it like it was something that tied back to friggin' 96. But whatever. That's that. In 6, obviously, you're talking about a father trying to get revenge for his son, which is basically a redo of Scream 2 with Mrs. Loomis. So I'm just saying, I think that this would be a much more interesting type of motive. It's not because they're inherently evil. They're just taking matters into their own hand to be done with all of this. And so that's vigilante justice, guys. You guys in the chat, let me know what you guys are thinking about this, because I'm pretty curious. Okay.
Now can I put one in real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Now this is one that I workshopped with you before, so I think I said this before, where Sidney just has a psychotic break and has a split personality. She has a split personality. So sort of like the movie Split, like one half doesn't know what the other half is doing, and she dons the Ghostface mask and is the killer. Ooh. And she doesn't die at the end, but she's put away because people have, they're sorry for her because she's finally lost it through having to deal with this for so many years, so much loss. And she finally has a psychotic break, gets a split personality, and starts killing.
Wow.
So, it's very dark. I know it's
really dark.
But if you go through everything she's been, through, the road leads there, unfortunately, Yeah. And the person who stops her is like Tatum.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be dark, bro.
That would be dark, man,
it's still more interesting than what we got in 7.
Yes, exactly.
And you could actually,
and just
have
imagine
these people work.
And Nev Campbell's a great actress. Just imagine the evil side of her and how she could play that. Like Tatum is like, Mom, you got to snap out of this. You got to fight this, whatever, Yep. Yeah. Hey, look. We've seen some interesting things in the horror. We've seen,
of course. I think that could work. That would be interesting. It'd be dark.
Malignant, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. We've seen
Yeah,
some
pretty much.
interesting things with split personalities. If you know, you know.
Right.
I think it would be great. I think it would give Nev a chance to really, flex her chops, and
Yeah.
it would be a good way to end her story for now, because she doesn't die, but she gets put into a psychiatric, entity that will take care of her and help her.
Wow. That
Just
would
saying.
be kind of a bummer too, man. But I know it's interesting. But let me just also say, all of these theories, it could work with Stu being involved, being revealed to be alive. At least that's the way I was looking at mine, is that they can work with or without Stu. I think it should work with Stu in general, because I think that would that would tie to 7, and it could explain the logic jumps of everything in 7. But that's a whole nother story. Let me jump back to the chat. We got another super chat coming up. We got DJ coming in for a super chat, $5.39 specifically. What is I'm wondering what's the significance of that. That's interesting. But thank you so much, bro. We appreciate it. How about this? They start 8 with the TV vision of him, and then have the movie of him sitting in his room at the asylum, and he wakes up from it's a dream. No. Oh no. Wow. So he's in the asylum. So this was all in his mind. 7 was all in his mind. Wow, dude. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not necessarily saying they should do that. I just don't think enough of the fan base would be on board with that. But it gotta be kind of interesting. I'm just saying, because 7 really frustrated me so much. Any way that we could like elevate it, or have a retcon that could make sense, I'll listen. I'll listen to it. You know what I mean? Interesting. That's an interesting one, DJ. Wow. All right. What do you think, Kill? The dream thing, I mean, we've seen that in movies before, most notably in TV shows. What do you think?
I mean, it definitely would be different. I
It
mean,
would. It
hey,
would.
look, we've seen some fake outs like fake Jason and things of that nature. So why not?
Why not? Why not? Okay. All right, guys. So let's go to the third theory. This is probably the most self-explanatory one that I have. It's called the Cult of Ghostface Part 3. Like, in other words, we should have had the Cult of Ghostface, revealed in 6, or 7, and now we get a third opportunity to do it. Now, let me just say something, that in 6 they kind of revealed it, okay, because of the fact that we had Jason and Greg in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that was a great opening. It just showed that there's other people out there that will don the mask and the robe, you know what I'm saying? And so, but what I've talked about for a long time, and a lot of people have too, but it's just to show, kind of like what Oliver was saying earlier, Stu is the puppet master, and this was an idea they had all the way back for 3. Wes and Kevin, for Scream 3 originally, they were going to have basically having Stu operating a cult of ghosts, his acolytes, from behind bars or in the asylum, whatever. That was going to happen. It didn't. And so I know it's technically, it's not canon in the films, but that was something that they were going to do. And I think that you could still do that now, and especially after the events of 7, you can still reveal him. I mean, I'm telling you, man, there's so many people that I talked to, and even in the theater when we went to go see it, I know there's a lot of people that were wanting to see him revealed. Like, that would, like, everyone would have went bad shit crazy, And of course there would have been people that, wouldn't like it or are against it, and that's fine too, but it creates conversation, you know what I mean? And again, it basically gives Sydney her Michael, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
let's go. That would have set up 8 for a big showdown. Well, we can still do that. We can set up a showdown, in 8, set it up for 9, in other words. So the cult of Ghostface theory is basically just showing that Stu is alive, that he's been pulling the strings. Maybe he hasn't been pulling the strings since day 1, but that doesn't matter, wherever it was. Maybe it was starting in 4 or 3 or whatever, or 5. But the point of it being is that it would really tie these movies together. So what do you think of that theory? I mean, I know that's kind of the most basic. It's definitely the most basic of my theories, but I think it's something that they still could do.
Well, I wouldn't say it's basic, but even if you do categorize it as basic, it's still good. It's still entertaining. It still gives us something that's more tangible than what we got.
Yeah,
It has more weight than what we got.
Yeah.
And because what we got was just, I want you to be that tough chick again, and I think I'm gonna don this, and I'm gonna kill all these people. I'm gonna kill my own kid. It's just like, wait, what?
Right.
Like crazy stalking swim fan kind of, or whatever.
Right. It's crazy stuff, man.
But with Stu, you would get a genuine, boogeyman. You would get a genuine villain that, hey, it's time for round 2. I ain't hear no bell yet. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And he's older, he's wiser, he's more skilled at being a ghost face, because he's seen how all the others have failed, or he's helped behind the scenes. So now, technically, Stu Macher should be the ultimate ghost face, because he was one of the originals.
Yep.
And to see all the other ones come and go, or use a shotgun, or now it's 3 of you and you still fucking lose. It's this one, you're related to her and you lose. You killed your own mom and you lose. And he's just
she was still cool though.
Of course. But like you're a director in Hollywood and you lose. He's just sitting back like that Michael Jackson meme where he's eating the popcorn, just smiling like, this is ultimate cinema, absolute cinema. So I would love to see that. And you bring him back, but do it the right way. If he comes back, he's got to take out a real character.
He does. He's got to take out somebody.
Unfortunately, Dewey's already gone.
Yep.
So we know who that leaves.
Yep.
And hey, and he can talk some trash to her, like, I've been waiting so long to do this to you. Like, but don't worry, you won't be the last, because Sidney will be the last. Like, oh man. And have him take the mask off too when he just when he does it, it's just like, whoa, because that carries weight, because Ghostface don't do that, but Stu Macher does. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've got 2 more theories I'll throw out. One of which I think is the best of the 5 for sure, and I'm really excited to throw this out at you guys. But before we do that, let's just take a quick aside, because I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of excitement over, Obsession and Backrooms, and I wanted to talk about it just for a quick second. I know you haven't gotten a chance to see them yet, so we're not going to talk spoilers, but what I do want to talk about is, the impact that it's having on the genre and conversations. I think both of these films, and they're 2 different types of films, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to like really compare them, because they're just different from each other, but I think they're both really good. One, I think, is supremely great. And both directors are young, and they started out on YouTube, social media, and stuff like that, which I think it's cool to see the opportunities that have been given. Obsession was so much fun. There were times I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat, you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think even though it wasn't like, you basically have the monkey's paw story, you know what I mean? A man makes a wish, you shouldn't have done that, and there's consequences. That's basically the whole story. But the way that Curry Barker framed this film and told this story, it was different. It felt different. It felt fresh. And when you do get a chance to see it, man, we got to talk about it, because there are scenes in this film where you just, bro, it's just like tension galore. I think it was amazing. With Backrooms, I think it's all about the experience, this atmosphere. You're exploring this world, this vast, uh, empty yet full space, this world that Chiwetel Ejiofor goes into. And it was fun, man. It was a great movie to see in the theater too, because you've got this huge screen, great surround sound, and you feel like you're a part of what's happening. And it was freaky, man. It was really freaky because me, and I know you do this too, but I put myself in the shoes of the protagonist, and I'm thinking to myself,
Right.
holy shit, if I'm in this type of space, what the hell is going to happen? It's really something, both of these films, man. So I don't
Right.
know if you heard any interesting things about them, but I'm telling you, I think both of these films are it's a great sign for horror and where we're going.
Yeah, yeah, and I am definitely interested in watching both of these. And it also just shows what you can do with a premise that some may look at and say, "Oh, back rooms. Oh, okay, that seems a little one note or basic."
Hmm. Yeah.
But you can take that and you can hone it and craft it into something eerie and entertaining and edgy and different.
Hmm.
Different is what
Yeah.
we're talking about here. And the same can be said about Obsession. It's the monkey paws curse. It's that classic story of be careful what you ask for, because you
Yeah.
may get it in spades and you don't realize what you're really asking for.
Right.
um so I love all the different types of horror and the different creative minds that are bringing these things out, bringing them to the silver screen. And it's just a great time, man, to be into horror. We've had some pretty great movies this year.
Yeah.
And are we even halfway through the year yet? Are we are
Right.
we are we there yet? I don't
Yeah, I know.
know.
It's crazy, man. We still got like some really cool stuff coming up. Evil Dead Burn looks amazing. Seeing the trailer on the big screen, because they played that trailer for Backrooms, bro. Seeing that on the big screen with the surround sound, bro. Evil Dead. It's funny because I've been talking about this with Jake. Up until this point, I've always given credit to Scream, because I think, and I still think, it's a super consistent franchise. I used to think it was the most consistent franchise when you think about a franchise that has, more than 4 or 5 films. But I can't lie, bro. Evil Dead is right there too, man.
Hmm.
And especially if Evil Dead Burn is good, I think you almost got to give Evil Dead the nod just a little bit, because yeah, it's crazy. But these guys in the chat, they know what's up. Obsession was the first movie to scare me in years. There you go.
Very cool.
Obsession is fantastic. Haven't seen Backrooms yet. Oh, Erica, you got to check out Backrooms. Mr. D, the whole movie had me uneasy, ready to jump at any moment. Yeah, exactly. No doubt. And Val's looking forward to Evil Dead Burn. Yeah, bro, it looks good. I'm telling you guys, Sam Raimi knows what to do. He's like, let me pass the baton to these young directors like Fede Alvarez and Lee Cronin, and you guys can make these movies. I'll just produce it and keep collecting them dollars. So look,
Mhm.
speaking of collecting them dollars, let's talk about the Backrooms, bro, because the budget for this film is only $10 million. It's crazy. And I mean, some people may say, well, $10 million is, a good amount, but I'm just saying, for a first time director, for Kane, who's only 20, bro,
Wow.
it's crazy. This kid, he's all right. But there was an article I wanted to bring up. Let me bring this up real quick and we can talk about it, and we'll get back to some Scream 8 talk as well. Okay. So let's talk about this. Kane Parsons directing The Backrooms crossed $100 million, a domestic box office first for A24. Who saw this coming? Backrooms is crossing $100 million today at the domestic box office, becoming A24's first movie to do so. the highest grossing movie out stateside, surpassing Timothy Chalamet's period dramedy Marty Supreme. And Backrooms pulled this off in 6 days. Is that crazy or what?
Nice.
Oh my God. On a global basis, north of $136 million. Backrooms is poised to topple A24's multi-Oscar winning Everything Everywhere All at Once, which had reached 148 million. Wow. Bro, this is crazy. Seriously. I'm serious. Marty Supreme has 191.3 million worldwide. So, dude, Backrooms could catch that. The second weekend is expected to be down anywhere from 55% to 60%. So, in other words, it's going to hold pretty steady. It made 8.7 million on Tuesday, the second highest grossing Tuesday for a horror film overall, behind the opening day of 20th Century Fox's reboot of The Omen on June the 6th, which did 12.6 million. Okay, man. So look, I mean, what are you thinking, man? This is like huge numbers, bro. I just wanted to kind of take a second to talk about that, because this isn't peanuts we're talking about. This is like big time numbers. What do you think?
No, I mean, kudos to them and the entire team of individuals that got together and made this. And it just shows, man, if these studios will have a little faith,
Yes.
if they'll have a little faith, like, and let the creatives do what they do. They create. Just let them do it. Don't try to lead by, committee, and you'll get the fruit. You'll get your money back in spades.
Right.
I'm so happy for them. I'm happy for the director, the writers, everyone, and of course the great acting talent that's in it. And yeah, let's keep this momentum going. Let's get fresh ideas, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're getting new horror,
Yeah, because and I hope I'm not aging ourselves here. When we were coming up, little kids in the 80s or even the 90s, you had plenty of horror movies. It wasn't just legacy franchises, and even those quote unquote legacy franchises would spin out new ones every now and then. But nowadays it's like it's hit or miss. They come or they go, or it's a reboot or a remake or re-envisioning. And it just seems like these movie companies are a lot more gun shy nowadays to put out something new. Like, well, if we do this, will it become a franchise? They weren't worried about that in the 80s. They were just like, look, let's get some teenagers, some young up and coming talent together. Let's get some blood and gore, make sure the effects look good, and let's put it out there.
Yeah.
And some of them became cinematic classics.
That's right. There's no doubt. Real quick, too, we got Daniel in the house. Hello from Ireland. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Daniel? Good to have you here. Hope you are doing well, and I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you've been well. Seriously, that's awesome. Okay, guys. Let me just jump back here. He says, I've heard that John Carpenter's Halloween, the television series, and 52 episodes has been canceled. Yeah, as far as I know, they are not moving forward with the Halloween television series. Now, I haven't talked a lot about it because right now there's so much gray area. But I'm gonna tell you what, Kill, just as a real quick aside before we get back to the Scream 8 theories. I always thought to myself, Halloween has to be in the theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wanted to do like a season of the witch type of spinoff streaming, like they did with Chucky or Bates Motel or something like that, that works. But as far as Michael Myers, he's got to be theatrical, bro. He's got to be theatrical. What do you think? Because, I mean, the 50th anniversary is coming up in 2028. We got to get a movie out, bro. That's what we need.
Hey, look, I remember I saw Halloween Kills on Peacock.
Yeah. No. Okay, but you know
the
why.
Opening night.
Come on,
I know. I'm being facetious. I'm just messing.
I know.
But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, something like that, it's indicative of horror. It's indicative of that season of Halloween.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree, man. But once again, that's another discussion of, well, where did they go with that franchise?
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. That'll be a rabbit hole. But Daniel, thank you so much for that. All right, Kill, we got 2 more theories left that I want to throw at you and also at the audience. And guys, let us know what you think of these. I keep putting this card up so you guys can know what the name of the theory is, because I'm really excited about these, man. But theory number 4, and this might be my favorite, bro. The final girl killer. You like that? I like that. The final girl killer. Okay, 3 killers. This is what I was thinking in my head. We got 3 killers. Their whole quest is to kill Sidney to dethrone the queen of final girls. That's the whole basis. They want to kill what seems to be unkillable. They want to take out the new ninja of horror, because it's not Michael anymore. It's Sidney Prescott. Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's their whole thing. And they're basically gonna, systematically just peck away the order. Gail dies in this theory. Gail dies. And not only does she die, and I'm not talking like off-screen type of stuff, like she dies. I'm talking about like, strung up type of thing, and really to belittle Sidney, to let her know they're not playing around. Their whole thing is they're tired of this final girl shit. And that's the whole idea. Now, I didn't say that they kill her in the movie. Maybe they wound her badly, or maim her. I don't know. That's not the point. I'm just trying to give the bones of what, the film could be to make sense. And I think, and what I'm trying to do with these theories is show a way that we can have Sidney in the film and make it a good film, even though she keeps surviving. You know what I mean? But the thing about this that I think would be cool, Kill, what they didn't do in 7, in my opinion, they didn't have the meta aspect. Well, you know what the meta aspect of this film is? Final girls.
Right.
It's all about the final girls. Sidney is a real, in the movie, a real life final girl. She keeps surviving after all these years, from Woodsboro on out to everywhere she goes. She keeps surviving, so the movie could play into that through the whole thing. You know what I mean? You could even have an open and kill. I know nostalgia can be a two-way street, but I think nostalgia done right can be nice, and Scream always leans into nostalgia. So maybe the opening kill could be someone named Sidney, or whatever. I'm just throwing out ideas, but I do really like this theory because it gives the Ghostface killers, the motive is it's just different. It's not revenge, because they're not connected to Sidney. They're not connected to anyone in the films. They're not connected to Woodsboro. They're not connected to any past Ghostface killer. They don't want fame. They didn't have a bad childhood that was robbed from them. They just want to kill the final girl. That's the whole impetus. What do you think?
I like it.
Me too.
I think it's different. It seems like the 3 Ghostface in here would all be females, which that's a first, I believe.
It could be. Like I'm open either way.
Okay. I thought you said that. But yeah, I mean, and what the last movie has showed us is that Ghostface doesn't always have to be somehow related to you, or be your cousin, or half brother, or any of that stuff, or just you killed my best friend, or you killed my dad, you killed my mom, like, okay,
right.
So yeah, I think that would be good. I like that.
I like it too. I like it too. Erica, Sid's wounded badly, goes in for surgery, but plot twist, one of the ghost faces is her surgeon. Oh God. But no, I like it too. And by the way, let me also, and I know I'm jumping all the ways, but Val, thank you so much. Guys, please hit the like button, especially for you guys that have been here. You guys know that's always the thing. I mean, we appreciate it. We hope that you like the stream enough to do that. But we only got 23 likes. Come on, guys. Come on, please. But what I like about this theory is also the possible meta angle, because at this point in this franchise, in real life, us looking at the franchise, but also in the world of Scream, Sydney is a legit final girl. And
Yeah.
so that's the motive for these killers. And I think it'd be so cool to have a Scream film that gets into the meta in a very cool way again. I feel like we haven't really done that. 5 did okay with it. I think 5 was pretty good with the whole meta thing. Before, was phenomenal with its meta angle. So I think that would be a really cool thing for this film. But like I said, Gail dies. Gail
Mhm.
is gone and killed in an epic way, like super epic way. Kind of like what should have happened to Chad in 6. Like that was epic. 2 Ghostface killers like stabbing him 1,000 times. That type of death. And she's on display. I mean, shit, man. It could even be something that happens like if they were able to pull it off like live on TV or something weird like that. Like something that is something we've never seen that seems kind of impossible, but of course it's a movie, so we can do weird shit in a movie, but I love that theory. I think that one would be like so cool, the final girl killer, man. Okay,
Yeah.
the 5th and final Scream 8 theory, and again, these are theories that some of them I've talked about a little bit, but tonight I just wanted to kind of flesh them out a little bit more, and I think so far they're sounding really cool. The 5th one is the traitor Ghostface.
Mhm.
Okay, the traitor Ghostface killer. And this is one that I've kind of I've talked about a little bit too. I think what would be so cool, and we saw shades of it in 6, right? Because we had 2 camps of Ghostface killers. You know what I'm saying? We had the Baileys, and then of course we had Jason and Greg. Well, I think the one weak part about that is they didn't give Jason and Greg enough, presence to make it really hit. I mean, it hit because we had never seen that before. But
Right.
to me, the Scream franchise, is a very rewatchable franchise. So when I rewatch 6, it's like, yeah, I know Jason's gonna get killed by another Ghostface killer. I think what they should have done is tease that out, for maybe like another 10 minutes or so, at least 10, 15 minutes. But in this theory, and again, all these things can have Stu be a part of it. As a matter of fact, just to backtrack for a second, in the final girl killer theory, Stu is revealed at the end, and of course he's the one that has to kill the final girl. That's the whole thing about that. But in the traitor Ghostface theory, you basically have multiple killers. I'm thinking 3, and one is a traitor. One actually has a totally different motive, kind of
Mhm.
like the mastermind, but kind of in the shadows, and is basically pitting the other 2 Ghostface killers against each other. And it sets up some really cool scenes, Ghostface versus Ghostface. It even gets to the point where it can confuse Sydney and whoever else is with her, whether it's Tatum or the twins or whoever. And in this particular one, it's also specifically revealed that Stu is the traitor Ghostface killer. Like this one is tailor made for Stu coming back. The other 4, I mean, this could work without Stu as well, but the other 4 could be with or without Stu. But this one, I really wanted it to be Stu, basically showing that he's a mastermind. What do you think?
I like that one too. Like
All right,
I agree. Like you need Stu, man.
you
You
do.
need Stu to bring all of this full circle. I mean, because you're going back to the original. You're going back to the first movie, and then there's the rustlings for years. Oh, is Stu going to be in this one? Is he going to be the Ghostface? Is he
Yeah,
going to be the man behind the scenes or whatever? And just finally do it. Like just do it, guys.
yeah.
Because
Either do it or don't do it.
yes, because that's exactly what I was about to
Definitively.
say. Because what they did in this last one, it 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 was cheap. It was
It
cheap
was.
and stupid. It was
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
And guys
It
in the
was.
chat, I don't ask for much. I'm a very simple man. But am I alone here? Did you guys feel that it was cheap how they used Stu in the
It
last Scream movie?
was
Let
cheap.
us
It
let us
was
know in the
so cheap.
comments, please. And if you didn't, if you loved it, let us know. I'm curious. I am
Yep.
so curious.
Rachel's saying the same thing. Either confirm he's dead or bring him back for real. I agree.
Thank you,
It's
Rachel.
it's
Yes.
time to just do it. It's just time to do it one way or
But
the other.
but it feels like they're just holding that Stu card in
Right.
their back pocket for the next time when they have to do a pivot.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like, well, we could give them Stu now, but who knows if someone's gonna say the wrong thing and we gotta pivot, and now we can't do the Tatum angle we want, or whatever, or the Nev angle. Now let's use that Stu card. But you can
Yeah.
only keep dangling that hook, but so much until the people are like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. No, I know. It's too bad. Hey, we got Danielle in the house too. What's going on? Good to have you here. Hope
Hey.
you've been doing well. Saying y'all keep saying bring Stu back, but you keep avoiding. You're wanting him back just to kill him, which I think is a waste and pointless. No, I definitely you can't bring him back. Like I said before, if he had come back in 7, he couldn't be killed, because that would just be stupid to bring him back all this time just to kill him. He'd have to serve. Like, again, let's just say this is a trilogy, 7, 8, and 9. Let's say that it's supposed to be a trilogy. He's
Right.
got to survive at least to the last film. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point of bringing him back, is that he's like the ultimate Ghostface killer. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like his experience puts him above the rest. Like that's the whole reason you bring him back. You don't bring him back to just kill him. And you damn sure don't bring him back to just have Sidney kill him. Again, it's no disrespect to Sidney. I love Sidney as a character, but like the way that she killed Jessica, come on, bro. What are we doing? Like, Sidney is a damn Marvel superhero.
Yeah, she is.
She cannot be killed. I'm just waiting.
And,
So anyways,
and I feel if I had my way with Stu, you bring him back not for just one movie, but 2.
exactly. He's got to be back for 2.
Yeah. You in the first movie, you kind of have a reveal at the end.
Yes.
Whether he makes the final kill or doesn't, whatever, you have a reveal, and then you have another full movie where he's in it, and then you get that final confrontation.
Right. That's how it's got to be. No doubt. No doubt. Real quick too, we got Luna in the house. What's going on? Good to see you. Hope you've been well.
Hey.
Welcome. Saying, I hate how they used Stu in 7. That was BS. He should have been alive. He should have been. And when they were like, yeah, that would have been the better story, but it's stupid, or however they worded it. I was like, bro, they're basically just like giving the middle finger to so many of the Scream fans that love Stu. I don't know, man. I didn't like it. But anyways,
No, I didn't like it.
Same thing Kelly was saying. It was a wasteful series of moments with Easter eggs, but the end slap in the face that Stu truthers are stupid was too much. Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree. No doubt. Danielle saying, I want Stu to return and get a spinoff to be the lead killer, Ghostface spinoff. She loves that idea. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I don't know if they would do that, though, having 2 different Scream films, the regular franchise and then a spinoff. Although, maybe it'd be popular enough. I mean, this last movie made a whole bunch of money, over $200 million. So
it would make money, and you could kind of alternate. Video game franchises do that all the time, where they'll alternate. All right, well, our B team that makes our main line will make this one, and the A team.
Well, it's just like
it's
just like Fast and the Furious when they had Hobbs and Shaw. You know what I mean? Hobbs and Shaw made money.
Oh yeah. But yeah, if they did that, I think that would actually be really interesting, because now you're watching a horror franchise that's splintered, and you're seeing it from 2 perspectives. The protagonist and the antagonist. And in today's society, where we like watching things like Breaking Bad, or all these other shows where technically the main character you're rooting for and watching is a bad guy, there would be people down for that. Dexter was a bad guy, guys. So I think that would actually be a smart idea, and you have one go 1 year, the other one goes the other year, and hey, the money would print itself.
Well, if they bring Stu back, it would.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Lillard, I mean, has a huge following. He's a legend. He really, really is. But guys, those are the theories we had that we wanted to talk about. Again, I think that what's really cool is that these are ways for the films to, because like I said, they're not gonna not have Sidney in this film, unless something happens behind the scenes like it did for 6, like with the money or whatever. But I just feel as though at this point they kind of got their truck parked up to Nev's house, because now you have Tatum involved, and she's not going to be in a movie without her mother. Just even if they said, "Oh, Sydney's in France on vacation," like everyone would roll their eyes. So Sidney is, at least right now for this potential trilogy, she's involved. And so I think that all of these theories could work, and they could still reveal that Stu is alive and allow some bridges to 7. So hopefully that 7 can be, elevated a little bit too, man. So
Yeah.
What's up, Jerry? Jerry's in the house. Hello, Knight and Killian. What's up,
Hey.
man? Hope you're doing well. Resident Evil is a good example of that. Yeah, switching back and forth. That's a good point. That is a good point. I think it could work.
Yeah.
It could work. Luna saying they had the setup there and it was believable, so they could have brought him back. They could have. They really could have. I thought, man, and I've already, and this will be one of the last things I want to say as we wind down. When I was in that theater, man, I was on the edge of my seat. I actually had my phone out to record it. You know what I mean? Like, the first time I've ever done that. But I said to myself, this could be that moment where it's going to be revealed. And, dude, they farted. They farted in church. It was ridiculous. I was like, are you serious? Oh, man. Thanks, man. Damn good theories. We appreciate that. Hope that you guys enjoyed that. And, we were workshopping it a little bit. I think it was a lot of fun talking about some possibilities, because obviously 8 is going to, have Sidney in it. And so, like, how could they do it and make it work? And again, she keeps surviving. So to me, you've got to make a really interesting story. The story has to be something a little bit different. And like I said, that opening scene where it's revealed that she attacked someone and potentially killed someone, and she removes the mask. Bro, how cool would that be? That would be so kick ass. Just saying. I think. And Daniel, thank you, man. You're welcome. Glad that you were here. And by the way, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. And just as importantly, please make sure you have your notifications on. We had our video. I dropped a video earlier today. I hope you guys can check it out. It was a lot of fun talking about the top remakes in horror, the greatest remakes, I should say. So please check that out. We really would appreciate that, and to help the video get onto the algorithm, so to speak. So please do that. We'd much appreciate it. And Danielle saying, no, I'm saying Scream can stay the whodunit with Ghostface cult, and Ghostface be the known killer Stu with a random partner. Yeah, no, I understood that. Yeah. I mean, I think that, it could work. It could work. I don't know if that's, something they do. Because, of course, they have talked about, we were talking about this earlier, Danielle, before you came in, unless you were here and you didn't, and I didn't know you were here, but we were talking about how they talked about doing the Kirby spinoff, which I think would be interesting, but I just don't know if they're going to do it. Maybe they will, but we don't have any information right now. Anyways, no concrete information. So, Luna saying, I'm liking number 4 theory. That sounds dope. Yeah, let's bring that up one more time, man. The final girl killer, bro. That's the one. I'm kind of digging that one a lot too. They literally are doing this because they have to kill Sidney Prescott. Sidney Prescott has to finally die because she keeps surviving. And the whole movie, or I should say, the big meta angle of the movie is final girls in horror, because now Sidney Prescott is a final girl, and they want to end the franchise. That's what it's all about. It's not revenge. It's not a connection, family ties or anything. They're not connected to Woodsboro. They're not connected to anybody. They're just coming in saying, she's got to go. Enough. Yeah. Stop being a ninja. So anyway, all right, guys. Look, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Seriously, this has been a lot of fun. We got a chance to pretty much do everything we wanted to do, Kill, talking about these theories. You guys gave out some cool theories. If we didn't get to you, we try to get to as many people as we can. Leave some comments, guys. That always helps. But also, we can continue the conversation. You guys had a lot of good thoughts as well. And Luna, you're right. They got to stop being scared, to do something new and just go for it. I agree. I really do. Seriously. And Kelly and Erica, all you guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us out so much. Check out the video on greatest horror remakes of all time. We really would appreciate that. Leave some comments and likes on that. That would be awesome. And we will catch you guys next time. As always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Peace.